On July 4th, the most important event won't be on the news. It won't be a headline, and it won't make a sound. The biggest change happening is taking place inside of you, in the quiet space between your thoughts, and it is happening whether you are paying attention or not. Most people are going to miss it completely. Why? Because we are trained to look for earthquakes, not the slow, powerful drift of continents. We wait for the thunderclap, but we ignore the change in pressure that comes before the storm. This shift on July 4th is not for those who need a spectacle. It is for those who are ready to feel the subtle current beneath the surface of the water. It's an invitation for those who have grown tired of the noise and are finally ready to listen to the silence. You have to understand, this silence isn't empty. It's full. It's a space where truth can finally be heard without the distortion of your daily panic. On July 4th, the universe isn't asking you to figure things out with your busy mind. It's asking you to feel with your whole being. It's not asking you to act, but to align. Think of how a plant grows. It doesn't struggle or force its way toward the sun. It simply turns quietly, naturally following the light. That is how real growth works. A silent, undeniable response to a powerful force. On July 4th, you will sense a similar turning inside you, but only if you create the space to notice it. There is no complicated ritual you need to perform. The preparation is simple and stop. Take a breath. Observe the room you are in. On July 4th, give yourself the gift of 5 minutes of doing absolutely nothing. Just wake up, and before you reach for your phone, feel your own existence. Feel the weight of your body. Feel the air enter your lungs. That simple feeling of being here, that is the doorway. That is where the change will find you. People run around chasing happiness, chasing success as if it's something out there to be caught. But what you are looking for is not a destination, it is a state of being. July 4th is not a day for more seeking. It is a day for arrival. It is for the profound realization that the peace you are fighting for has been inside you all along, buried under your to-do lists. When you finally stop running, you don't fall behind. You finally catch up with yourself. A question will arrive on this day, not in words but as a feeling. It will feel like a deep sigh. The question is, will you let go? Will you allow this energy to move through you? Or will you tighten your grip, resisting it with your old habits and fears? In our frantic desire to improve everything, we forget that sometimes the most powerful move is to do nothing at all. Sometimes things don't need to be fixed. They just need to be felt. The quiet movement on July 4th is a test of your trust, not a test of your strength. Can you sit with uncertainty without needing to find an immediate answer? Can you allow yourself to be in a state of not knowing and still feel grounded? Can you believe that the process is unfolding for your good, even when there's no visible evidence? This is how you tune into the frequency of life itself. On this day, you might feel things bubble to the surface, a wave of sadness, a sudden flash of a childhood memory, an overwhelming desire to clean out a closet, or a profound sense of calm that comes from nowhere. These are not random glitches in your system. They are the footprints of this shifting energy. They are proof, but only if you are still enough to see them. It's so easy to ignore these signs. The world will demand your attention. The emails will keep coming. The drama will continue to play out. But on July 4th, none of that external noise is your real assignment. Your assignment is to feel the tectonic plates of your own soul shifting. This isn't about changing your hair or your job. This is about restructuring your inner world, and you can't do that while you're distracted. July 4th extends an invitation to come home to yourself. It will not force you. It will not yell. It just holds the door open. If you choose to walk through it, then turn away from the noise. Turn away from the endless rush. Put the phone down, sit with yourself. 5 minutes, just 5 minutes of true, unapologetic stillness is enough to change everything. Some will say, I tried, but I felt nothing, and that is perfectly fine. The tide comes in whether a single grain of sand is aware of it or not. The shift is happening regardless. But your ability to ride that wave, to use its momentum, depends entirely on your stillness. The more you unclench your fists, the more life can place in your hands. The quieter you become, the more you will hear. You don't have to believe this is some grand cosmic event. Just believe in the power of paying attention. Your body already knows. The quiet wisdom that lives beneath your anxiety already knows. Your only job is to get out of its way. Don't chase, receive, make space. Let the mental clutter just be there without judgment. Don't compare your journey to anyone else's. This is for you. It is silent, it is personal, but it is real. July 4th is not a date, it's a portal. And your own stillness is the key. Be still, be present, be ready. The unseen is on the move. Let it move you. July 4th isn't fundamentally about what unfolds around you. It's about what anchors you from within. We spend so much time preparing for external events, a meeting, a storm, a holiday. We follow the forecasts, we make plans, but it's all useless if our inner world is in chaos. If you are a storm on the inside, even a perfect, sunny day will feel like a threat. But if you are calm on the inside, you can stand in the middle of a hurricane and feel steady. This is the lesson July 4th is here to teach you. The outer shift means nothing if the inner foundation isn't ready. Most people are looking the wrong way. They're trying to control the world, but the only thing you can truly ever master is yourself. July 4th ushers in a new energetic frequency, a different vibration. It's incredibly subtle, but its impact is immense if you are aligned. Not aligned with your goals or your opinions, but aligned in your core, your awareness, your breath, your body. Before the universe makes a big move in your life, it first makes a small move inside you. It sends a signal. It might feel like a sudden burst of energy. It might feel like a deep exhaustion. It might feel like a moment of stunning clarity or a fog of confusion. The feeling itself doesn't matter. What matters is that you recognize it as a signal and don't just react with your usual pattern. July 4th will challenge this. It will show you whether you are responding or reacting, whether you are anchored or adrift, whether you are awake or on autopilot. So how do you get ready? You don't get ready by gathering more information. You get ready by becoming more present. You prepare by observing yourself without judgment. Ask, is my inner state cluttered or clear? Am I grounded, or am I being pulled in 100 directions? Am I lashing out at the world, or am I acting from a place of inner stillness? These aren't complicated questions, but they hold all the power. Alignment is when your mind, your heart, and your body are on the same team, not fighting a civil war. On July 4th, many will feel the ground move, but only those who are aligned will know where to place their feet next. Everyone else will be thrown off balance, lost in the confusion, missing the opportunity not because it wasn't there, but because they weren't home inside themselves. Check in with your body. Is your jaw clenched? Are your shoulders up by your ears? Is your breathing shallow? Your body is the first point of contact for this new energy. If your body is a locked gate, the energy can't flow. On July 4th, let your body be relaxed but alert. Use your breath as an anchor to this exact moment. When your breath is slow and full, your mind becomes a calm, clear lake. When your breath is quick and tight, your mind becomes a choppy, murky pond. This is the real work. Align your breath, align your posture, align your attention, not as a one-time grand gesture, but as a quiet, consistent practice. Just sit, close your eyes, feel the aliveness inside you. For just a few minutes, release the need to manage everything. Release the story of your past. Release the anxiety about your future. Just be. Your entire system will begin to recalibrate. This is how you prepare for the shift of July 4th. The wave coming on July 4th won't ask if you're ready. It will simply arrive. You can either learn to surf it, or you can be tumbled by it. And the difference depends on your inner state. The outside world can stay exactly the same, but your perception, your energy, and the choices you make, those are born from within. When you are aligned, you move with purpose. You act from a place of clarity, not fear. You speak the truth calmly. You listen without needing to interrupt. All of these skills will be vital on July 4th, but they don't magically appear. They are muscles built through practice. If you start today, right now, then when the shift arrives, you won't feel lost. You will feel ready. Not because you have a map of the future, but because you have a compass inside. There is no power on earth greater than inner stillness. When everything outside is shaking, your anchor must be internal. If you anchor your ship to another ship, you will both be lost at sea. But if you anchor to the ocean floor, you can weather any storm. This is the essence of July 4th. It is not about fear. It is about readiness. Inner readiness. You don't need a better plan. You need a better presence. You don't need more control. You need more clarity. Let July 4th be your reminder to align your mind with your body, and your body with your breath, and your breath with this moment. When all of you is moving in one direction, even the smallest shift becomes a profound lesson. So when July 4th comes, ask yourself, am I aligned? Am I still? Am I aware? These aren't just questions. They are your tools. Because when the world shifts, the only thing that holds you steady is the strength you built inside. Let July 4th be the day you remember to stop looking out and start looking in. That is where the real power is. On July 4th, something is going to change. But not just out there in the world. The real transformation will happen in the one place you've been taught to ignore, the invisible space within you. There are currents of energy moving that most people never acknowledge, but these currents dictate everything: your moods, your decisions, your health, your reality. The more unconscious you are of these forces, the more you are their puppet. On July 4th, these hidden currents will intensify. You won't see them with your eyes, but you will feel them: a sudden mood swing that has no logical cause, a moment of piercing clarity, a gut feeling that something is just around the corner. These are not random fluctuations. They are the evidence of an invisible world at work. Life is not just a series of physical events. It is an energetic dance, it is spirit in motion, and it is always communicating with you. Most of us operate under the illusion that we are driven by logic. We think we make rational choices. The truth is, most of our life is directed by the unconscious, the feelings we've suppressed, the traumas we haven't healed, the limiting beliefs we inherited. On July 4th, these inner patterns will get louder, not to torture you, but to get your attention, to show you what is actually running the show. When you feel a strong pull or a strong resistance, stop and ask, is this really me choosing, or is this an old program running on autopilot? On July 4th, don't just charge ahead. Pause, breathe, observe. There is immense power in simply noticing. The second you become aware of a pattern, you are no longer completely controlled by it. That is the beginning of freedom. July 4th is not a day to be afraid, it is a day to be awake. The moment you acknowledge the unseen forces shaping you, you begin to reclaim your power. That wave of anxiety that hits you from nowhere, it's not random. That person you suddenly think of for the first time in years, it's not a coincidence. That heavy silence that feels full of meaning, it is. But you will never decode the messages if your life is filled with constant motion, scrolling, and external noise. The visible world is just the tip of the iceberg. Below the surface, energy is shaping matter. Your inner state is shaping your outer reality. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. July 4th is a powerful reminder to become the energy of what you wish to experience. Align your inner frequency and the outside world has no choice but to respond. There is a natural rhythm to the universe. When you are out of sync with it, life feels like a constant struggle, like walking against a strong wind. But when you are in harmony with it, things flow. July 4th will test your harmony. You may be faced with a choice that makes no sense on paper, but your intuition, your gut, is screaming ice. Trust that feeling. Your mind is a useful tool, but it is not your only intelligence. Your body has wisdom, your heart has wisdom, your energy field has wisdom. And on July 4th, these other intelligences may speak louder than your logical brain. If you listen, this is not a time to fight the invisible. It is a time to dance with it, to learn its language. Those who ignore this energetic reality will feel lost. They'll feel exhausted, confused, and stuck with no idea why. But those who are sensitive to energy will recognize July 4th as an opportunity, a doorway, a cosmic tune-up, a chance to get back in sync. So ask yourself, right now, what are the invisible scripts running my life? What emotional patterns keep me in a loop? What deep-seated beliefs are making my decisions for me? These are not just intellectual questions. Sit with them. Let the answers rise from your body, not just your head. On July 4th, these hidden parts of you will come to the surface. The discomfort you've been avoiding will ask for your attention. The inner voice you've been ignoring will get louder. Don't numb it. Don't run from it. This is not a sign of weakness. This is life showing you exactly where you need to heal. The more you fight the unseen, the more it controls you. But when you can look at it, name it, and breathe through it, you begin to dissolve its power. That is the only real preparation needed for July 4th. Not just organizing your desk, but clearing your inner world. Energy is honest. The vibration you carry inside speaks louder than any word you could ever say. The unseen responds to your frequency, not your request. So when July 4th comes, don't just look at the sky, look inside. When you feel the shift, don't ask, what's happening out there? Ask, what is waking up in me? This is not superstition, it is deep awareness. And awareness is the line between being asleep and being awake, between being a victim and being a creator. You were not put on this earth to live on autopilot. You are here to be fully conscious. July 4th is your wake-up call. Life is always in motion. But on this day, the unseen moves a little closer. Will you see it? Will you meet it? Or will you fall back into the same old patterns? The choice, as always, is yours. But the invitation is ringing loud and clear. Pay attention. Get still. Acknowledge the forces within you before they become the life you live without your consent. On July 4th, a quiet but powerful change will begin. And with it comes a single, clear message whispered into the core of your being: let go. Not every weight you carry is yours to keep. Not every battle you are fighting still needs to be fought. The biggest mistake we make is dragging the dead weight of yesterday into the fresh potential of tomorrow. We try to build a new life on top of old, rotten foundations. But July 4th is not about accumulating more, it's about releasing. When winter ends, spring doesn't try to hold on to the ice, it lets it melt. This is the law of nature. For something new and vibrant to grow, something old and stagnant must be cleared away. This could be a limiting belief, a toxic relationship, a painful memory, or an identity you've outgrown. On July 4th, if you are quiet enough, you will feel exactly what needs to go. You won't have to look for it. It will make itself known, perhaps as a feeling of heaviness, a sense of irritation, or a deep, silent sadness. Letting go is not about loss, it is about creation. the creation of space. You cannot receive a gift if your hands are clenched in a fist. Your heart cannot welcome new love if it is crowded with old grievances. Your mind cannot receive new wisdom if it is packed with old stories. July 4th is an invitation to open your hands, to sweep out your inner rooms, to release what is no longer in alignment with who you are becoming. This release doesn't have to be a dramatic performance. You don't need to announce it. You don't even need to fully understand it. You just need to feel the impulse to release and allow it. Don't fight the feeling. Don't rationalize it away. On July 4th, the very energy in the air will support this process. It will support surrender. It will support the quiet courage it takes to stop pretending and finally let something go. So ask yourself right now, what feels heavy in my spirit? What am I clinging to that costs me my peace? What narrative am I replaying in my head that I know deep down is no longer true? These questions are not meant to trouble you. They are keys. On July 4th, the locks might just pop open. You don't have to force the door. You just have to stop holding it shut. The world teaches us to gain, to achieve, to add, but wisdom is about subtraction. True strength isn't always about how much you can carry. Often it's about what you have the wisdom to set down. July 4th reminds you that real power flows from clarity, not control, and clarity arrives when the inner noise subsides. Letting go is not a weakness, it is the highest form of wisdom. In the fall, a tree doesn't grieve its dead leaves, it releases them. It trusts the cycle, it knows that shedding is a prerequisite for rebirth. You must learn to trust this cycle in your own life. July 4th will ask for that trust. Can you let go of what is already gone? Can you release what has served its purpose? There might be a sting of grief when you release. There might be fear. That is natural. The ego mistakes letting go for losing. But that is an illusion. What you are losing is a burden. What you are gaining is freedom. July 4th offers a moment of profound clarity to see this truth, to loosen your grip, to breathe more deeply, and to walk into the next chapter of your life lighter and more whole. Releasing the past doesn't mean it didn't happen. It means you are making a conscious choice not to let it define your present. On July 4th, give yourself the grace to release without justification, without anger, without needing an apology. This is not surrender, it is evolution. It is the natural flow of life. You cannot pour fresh water into a cup that is already full of stale water. If you want the gift of the July 4th shift, you must make room for it, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It means saying your final goodbyes where they are long overdue. It means releasing outcomes you were never meant to control. It means forgiving not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. July 4th is not about doing more. It's about becoming less cluttered, less burdened, less noisy. It's about knowing what truly matters and having the courage to release all that does not. This isn't for anyone else to see. It's a quiet sacred transaction between you and the universe. So, when July 4th arrives, be radically honest with yourself. What are you holding that you know is holding you back? What outdated fear is keeping you from freedom? You don't need a perfect plan, you only need to be willing. Let that be your only practice on this day. The willingness to release, the willingness to trust, the willingness to walk forward with empty hands so you can finally receive what is meant for you. Something new is trying to be born in your life, but it cannot enter a crowded room. Let July 4th be the day you clean house. Let it be the day you choose peace over pain. Let it be the day you finally, truly let go, not with regret but with gratitude. Because everything that is leaving has taught you what it came to teach. And what is coming needs you to be free. On July 4th, many will be busy trying to guess what happens next. They will scan for clues, attempt to control outcomes, or wait for a sign from the heavens. But this day is not about predicting the future. It's about building the internal fortitude to meet whatever comes. This is the crucial difference between living in fear and living in a state of readiness, between trying to manage life and learning to dance with it. When you try to predict, you are using your mind, and your mind can only work with what it has seen before. The future, by its very nature, is made of what you do not yet know. On July 4th, give up the need to figure it all out. Stop asking what's going to happen. Instead, ask a better question. Am I ready for anything? True preparation is not about having a plan for every contingency. It is about strengthening your inner state so that no matter what July 4th brings, you can face it with calm, clarity, and grace. If your focus is on prediction, you are not grounded, you are unstable. And when the winds of change arrive, you will be knocked over. Look at nature. A great oak tree doesn't prepare for a hurricane by guessing its category. It prepares by growing deep roots. A river doesn't prepare for a flash flood by fighting the rain. It prepares by remaining a river. It flows, it adapts, it carves a new path if it must. This is what true readiness looks like. On July 4th, you are called to be both the oak tree, rooted in your own stillness, and the river, flexible enough to move with what comes. Many people are terrified of the unknown because they believe that if they can just predict it, they can control it and be safe. But life was never meant to be controlled. It was meant to be lived. The people who are the most at peace are not the ones who know what's coming. They are the ones who trust that they are ready for anything. July 4th brings with it a change in the energetic tide. Something might end, something might begin, something might be revealed to you, but you have no control over the tide itself. What you can control is your own vessel, your breath, your focus, your inner calm. That is where your preparation lies. You don't get ready for July 4th by consuming endless theories. You get ready by sitting in silence and asking, is my mind a chaotic storm or a clear sky? Is my breath anchoring me to this moment, or is it shallow with anxiety? Am I here now, or am I lost in fear of a future that doesn't exist yet? We try to shield ourselves with information, but true safety doesn't come from knowing more. It comes from being more present, more still, more disciplined in our own awareness. July 4th is the perfect moment to practice this. Don't waste your precious energy trying to read the tea leaves. Invest that energy in fortifying your own soul. Whatever happens on July 4th will simply meet you where you are. If you are steeped in anxiety, the shift will amplify it. If you are grounded in peace, it will deepen your peace. The change itself does not transform you, it reveals you. This is why your preparation is everything. You don't need to know the future, you only need to know yourself in this moment. That is the single factor that determines how you will experience whatever July 4th brings. If you are rooted in your own presence, you will not be broken. You may be challenged, you may be surprised, but you will not lose your center. Your readiness is your anchor. So how do you prepare? Practically, you simplify, you unplug, you breathe with intention, you connect with your body, you ask yourself better questions. Am I clinging to fear? Am I open to what is unfolding? Do I trust that I am being guided? Preparation is building the inner muscle to remain calm in the face of uncertainty. It is training your mind not to spiral when it doesn't have an answer. It is trusting that the next step will be revealed to you precisely when you need to take it. This isn't wishful thinking. It is a confident faith born from inner work. July 4th is not a test of how well you can guess. It is a test of how well you can respond. The world may shift in an instant, but if you are truly present, you will know what to do. Not because you predicted it, but because you are awake and can see the next right move with clarity. Life doesn't reward the predictors, it rewards the prepared. So use this time to get ready, not with frantic energy, but with a quiet strength, a steady breath, and a clear mind. Don't wait for the event. Become still now. Become strong now, so that when July 4th comes, you won't be scrambling for answers. You will simply meet life fully, peacefully, and powerfully as it arrives. That is the lesson. The future is not in your hands, but your readiness is. And when you are truly ready, you are ready for anything. On July 4th, something will shift. Not with a bang, but with a quiet hum of energy. And the people who feel it most profoundly won't be the ones running around, shouting for answers or looking for proof. The ones who will truly receive the gift of July 4th are the still ones.